Now for our top story, we start in the Middle East, where French Foreign Minister Jean-Noel Barrot has called on Israel to allow foreign press access to Gaza as the humanitarian crisis deepens after 21 months of war. Speaking to France Inter, Barrot emphasized the importance of the media in documenting the situation, stating that it is vital for independent journalists to witness and report on the ground the conditions in Gaza. His comments follow warnings after reports came about of the dangers faced by Palestinian freelance journalists in the region. Barrot confirmed that France is working to evacuate some of those journalists and their families. Meanwhile, press groups and NGOs have echoed the call for unrestricted access to Gaza. Barrot reiterated France's stance on an immediate ceasefire as military operations intensify in Gaza. We're now joined by Ahmed Fatwa, who's a spokesperson for the Fatah movement. He's located in Ramallah. Thank you very much, Ahmed, for joining us on the programme. Ahmed, throughout this entire conflict, international press has not been allowed into the Gaza Strip. This, of course, raises many issues in regards to the statistics coming out of the region, as there's not a impartial way to check these figures that come out. Can you tell us the importance of letting international journalists, international bodies into the Gaza Strip, and the issues that it raises about the fact that Israel is not allowing these individuals in to see what's going on in this war zone?
Well, Israel is not allowing international journalists to go to Gaza because they want to hide the war crimes. It's pretty obvious. There are journalists still working in Gaza, working for international agencies. They are Gazans, Palestinians from Gaza, are still reporting, and their reports are partial and evident. As well as there is many reports by the United Nations, the human rights organizations, and the Palestinian Ministry of Health, which has been proven to be very accurate in every war in the past decade. This ministry is not disconnected from the Palestinian government in the West Bank, because those who die from war need to be registered as deceased in order to get a certification of being deceased. So that is something that is official, not top level. So the numbers are pretty accurate. Actually, the numbers is much lower than expected, as you have heard recently about the new researchers and scholars' research in Harvard, and among of them is an Israeli Jewish guy who found out that there's at least 300,000 missing from Gaza.
Okay.
Others say 200,000. So the numbers are pretty little compared to reality that we will discover after the war. But Israel refused to allow international journalists to examine these reports, and also refused the international humanitarian agencies to come to Gaza, and refused the international aid. Israel is committing a crime after a crime in front of
Ahmed, I do apologise for cutting you off. I just need to, due to impartiality, I need to cite the reasons why Israel is not letting international journalists into Gaza. It cites there are security concerns in an active combat zone. The authorities argue that Gaza remains in an active theatre of war, and so letting international journalists would be too dangerous. It also cites operational control and the narrative management by restricting independent access. The Israeli government seeks to maintain operational security in the Gaza Strip. It also cites logistical and permit restrictions among judicial deference to military judgment. What are your thoughts on these reasons in which Israel does not let international journalists into the Gaza Strip, and why this war differs from other wars in regards to its press rules?
Because this excuse is laughable, to be fair. They are not doing that because they feel that for the safety of the journalists, that is a ridiculous excuse. They want to hide their war crimes. It's pretty obvious. The journalists were in war. Journalists are specialized to cover up wars. They were in Iraq war. It was also devastating. They were in every war. So it's not about their safety. It's not about their security. It's not about Israel's security as well. It is only to hide their war crimes, but still their war crimes are, lively streamed on every social media platform, and we could all see it. The international journalists have said that they want to go to Gaza and they would take care of their own safety. Still, Israel refused. But somehow they accept the pro-Israeli journalists to go to Gaza under their wing and to report the Israeli propaganda. Somehow that is acceptable. So we actually can see what is the game here, and the game is to hide any report from international journalists. And but yet, many reports has been issued and has been revised, has been fact-checked, and yes.
So let's talk about the numbers now. Obviously, we've talked about with a press blockade, the fact that there is there's no way of getting in or out of Gaza for international bodies or organizations right now. The health numbers. Now, the Gaza Health Ministry currently cites that just yesterday, over 59,000 people have been killed in the Gaza Strip. Israel says that this isn't true, that Hamas inflates these numbers for their international, for Hamas's international media gain per se. Why are these statistics, these numbers coming out of the Gaza Strip, the ones? Why are these reliable? Are they reliable?
They are very reliable. And as I said, in every past war, there were 5 wars in Gaza, and it appeared to everyone, and if we go back to the historical records, that every time the health ministry report about the death toll, it is very accurate. It's much more accurate, actually, than the Israeli report that want to hide their deaths. As I told you, those who die are registered by the government and need to be issued a certificate, which is, not something can be manipulated, and we don't manipulate these things. There is enough death toll in Gaza, and it's actually beyond the number. 60,000 is the number that we see right now. There are tens of thousands under the rubble that it's not reported, we still did not discover. There are thousands of families whipped out from the civil record, where entire family dies, that nobody survived to come to the hospital and report of missing families. So those are numbers we are yet to discover. And I have to point out that this is not something new to Israel. Israel does not allow the Red Cross to go to the Israeli jails and monitor the political Palestinian prisoners' conditions. Why is it? Of course, to hide their torture, their mistreatment of prisoners. Just recently, one of the most prominent Palestinian journalists was arrested for 9 days in Israel for reporting news. They say about Israel it's a democracy, but freedom of expression is not there. And he said when he went out from jail, it was 9 days of hell. Israel is right now torturing prisoners, preventing them from medicine and health care, and also not providing enough food. They receive one little meal a day, and many of them are suffering from chronic diseases that do not receive any treatment. So Israel refused the Red Cross to go there, refused the international journalists to go to Gaza. That indicates Israel is hiding something.
Ahmed, I'm really sorry to interrupt you. We have run out of time, but thank you very, very much for joining us and for your insight. We now move over to Europe for our next story.